Hello and welcome to the Focus Friday series with the KU Alumni Association, specifically the Student Alumni Network. My name is Ryan Edmonds, and I serve as the Assistant Director of Student Programs with the KU Alumni Association, and I will be your moderator for this Focus Friday session, presenting you the A Wellness Focus with KU Recreation Services. Before we get started, I wanted to share what you can expect from this session and a brief overview of the Focus Friday series. Focus Fridays is an initiative created for the Student Alumni Network to provide current KU students with a focus series to share helpful information, opportunities, and resources from local and campus community organizations and departments at the University of Kansas. Focus Fridays is powered by the Central Bank of the Midwest. Services provides a variety of resources for wellness, physical fitness, team and individual sports, group fitness classes, and personal training. Indoor and outdoor facilities accommodate a broad range of athleticism, from beginners looking to improve their health with low-impact exercise to seasoned athletes aspiring to push their physical abilities to the next level. And so I'm going to turn it over to Jill. So to get started, Jill, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and how you became the Senior Associate Director with KU Recreation Services?
Definitely. Thanks, Ryan. I greatly appreciate your introduction. My name is Jill Orkoski, as Ryan had mentioned. I have been at KU for over 20 years, so obviously I love it. I've been through a lot. When I first got here, there was no rec center, and now we have this beautiful rec center, and we've grown and changed since then. I got into recreation when I became a little more interested in health and wellness for myself as a college student. And then just enjoyed, I actually got into group fitness as a college student, and kind of that's how I created my social networks and then developed networks, which then led me to my career. So it was even better that my love for being physically active and actually turned into something that I have been doing for over 20 years. So KU Rec Services obviously is something that students pay through campus fees. And so they have the opportunity to use the facility, and we welcome everybody. If you've never stepped foot in a gym or never been an athlete, we're here for you still. So doesn't mean you can't start now. So we have so many different things, which I'll be talking a little bit about here in short amount of time to share with you, because we probably have about 8 different areas that we could probably have its own session about almost. So we have a lot to offer, and we're here for all the students, and you're already paying for it. So as long as you're paying campus fees, so why not use it? So
No, you're completely right. And so with that, Jill actually has a wonderful presentation for us. So we're going to turn it over and let Jill talk more about KU Rec Services.
We're here to empower Jayhawks to live a life of wellness. So first thing I just want to talk about is some of our programs, intramural sports, where you play other teams on campus. There's multiple different things you can do, such as there's men's, women's, and co-rec, essentially, which could be fun. It can be competitive. It's all up to you. Championship games for basketball are played at Allen Fieldhouse, which is really cool. And we do offer a unified sports, which is through Special Olympics as well for flag football and basketball. So pretty cool things that we could do. You can do in intramurals. It's also individual if you want, or team wise. Sport clubs essentially is creating a club where you would actually go play other universities, possibly. You practice on a pretty regular basis. There's 30 different clubs. You pretty much operate your club. They have officers, and it also works with like student orgs kind of concept. So super cool with that. There's a place on our website that talks about all the different clubs. If you don't see one you like, you can always start a club, and we can help you work with that as well. With our fitness, obviously, a lot of people know us as the quote gym, but so that's what we're probably known more for than anything. But we have group fitness classes, which we call KU Fit. We have about 42 classes per week. That is an additional charge. Personal training is also you could do as an individual, or if you and one of your friends want to do it together. And then if you want to get like 3 or 4 people together, we do offer small group training as well. Some people just really enjoy working out with others that have like minds. So you're not just also with KU Fit, it's not just about getting fit and going to a class and working your body, but you make friends often. And that's, I was telling you when I went to college, that's definitely where I socialized and I made a lot of my friends there. It's also just gives you mental clarity, just like most fitness and physical activity things. I just want to point out this fall we upgraded our weight room equipment and added about $130,000 worth of new equipment. So we continue to see what the students are using and try to ensure that we have items that they're wanting. We do offer what's called the ACE personal training prep course. So if you've ever thought about being a trainer, then we do offer a class that prepares you to take a certification. And we do have assistance, financial assistance, because we're always looking for trainers. Our students are actually trainers. So they're not full-time staff, they're actually students who have become certified. Another great thing coming in the spring is our second annual Move with the Rec, which is a 5K. It's on April 14th. So save the date if you like to, maybe build up to it even. You know, there's couch to 5K programs out there, or you could hire a trainer or something. There's always things like that. This fall, we did a fitness challenge, which was really cool. It was like a bunch of different activities like push-ups, the 40-yard dash, can't think all of them, but so it was little different exercises. And then we kept track and there was overall winners. So, and they actually got some cool things from Adidas as a prize. So outdoor pursuits and special events. So outdoors is a great place to clear your head, get some fresh air. Studies show that it helps relieve stress as well. I know it's hard in the winter in Kansas, but fresh air is always good, even if it's a little bit chilly. And we have equipment rentals, so outdoor equipment rentals such as kayaks, canoes, tents, paddle boards, those types of things. We do operate, Outdoor Pursuits operates the rock wall downstairs. There's certain hours that we're open for that. And then we do offer some team building activities. That was kind of a new program we just started this fall. And so if you have a group on campus or some project or your employer, you're a student employee and you're actually part of a group and you're trying to come up with something fun to do within your team, that's always a possibility. We also have lawn games available. So if you're looking for cornhole or something, you can check out some lawn games for the weekend. Same thing with equipment checkout. And this spring, we're thinking about developing, or we have been developing adventure trips. So we'll start small with maybe like a day trip going somewhere, like maybe mountain biking or hiking in the local area. And then eventually we would love to go into maybe multiple, like a weekend type trip. So hopefully one day you'll see that. In general, our facilities, we have multiple facilities. Most of us think of us as the rec center or the Ambler Student Recreation Fitness Center. We have 150 employees, so we do offer a lot of leadership opportunities, and we couldn't operate without our students. So if you're looking for a job, it's a cool place to be. There's lots of people coming in and out. You meet lots of new people. Outside, we just added pickleball courts, 3 outdoor at the outdoor basketball courts. And 3 days a week, we were putting those out to have available as well. So you probably won't see them till the spring because now it's getting a little chillier. But in general, just give you an idea of what our facilities look like. We have we're 150,000 square feet. We've added on a couple different times. We're open a good portion of the semester and the year, actually. So we're open oftentimes, even when classes aren't in session. So if you never step foot in, you're welcome to come in and get a tour. This place is for you. Everybody's welcome. Some of our outdoor facilities, we have Central Field, which is right here on campus, in between a couple of the residence halls. And there's also lights out there. So it's turf and lit fields. The lights, you can just push the button, and every 30 minutes, I believe it is, it will give you a signal that it's like gonna shut down. But if you just keep pushing the button, it'll be accessible for lights until 11:30 at night. So you're welcome to go out there, do different things. We have people playing tag and spike ball and all different things out there. So soccer obviously is big. This last fall, we got the opportunity to have additional field, super field, which is over off 23rd in Iowa at Shank Fields. Band's also using it. We don't have any lights out there yet. We're waiting to get a transformer. So we were hoping that that would have happened this fall, but hopefully in the spring we'll have it. And we'll be operating different sport clubs to go out there. Intramurals will be out there, and possibly even some fitness stuff maybe in the coming future. Tennis courts over between the Computer Center and Robinson, and kind of north of Watkins Health Center, we have some tennis courts, and those also are lit. And then we have some volleyball courts as well. So again, there's lights. You just push the button and you can play out there. Something exciting in the future, we did a master plan a couple years ago, right before COVID actually, and then things changed. So, but we have some possibilities of thought that maybe in the future we would be able to add some additional phases to the rec center. And we are about 100,000 square feet short of other size universities. So some of the recommendations that came from surveys we sent out, you can see on this list. And then I'm going to show you some examples of what we could be looking at in the future, and hopefully soon. So phase 1 here was the original building. Phase 2 was actually an add-on in 2008. And then phase 3 over here would be an extension of the track, as well as some turf fields, indoor turf fields with some functional fitness type stuff as well. And then phase 4, possibly a pool. This would be a recreational pool in this picture is kind of showing. So this is kind of conceptual. So phase 3, there's conversations happening. I don't know if where we'll go with it, but this is showing the functional fitness area with a ramp as well. We would have some expanded area for weight room, add more space, as well as maybe a little sprint ramp and some fitness studios. So right now we just have one fitness studio, but it's possible that we could add a couple more. None of these things are set in stone. Obviously, it would be something the students would give feedback. You could give your feedback if you think there's something that we're needing or missing. So that kind of gives you a good overall view of everything that we offer at Rec Services.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. No, that's so cool. Honestly, seeing the renders and such, I always feel like that's really cool because especially for many of you know, the Kansas Booth Memorial Stadium's going under a huge renovation with the Gateway Project, and everyone gets really excited to see renders. And so seeing that for the Amblers actually, for me personally, really cool, but I know our students are going to enjoy it.
Yeah,
but
and there might be a referendum. They might be needing signatures for referendum in the spring is what there's conversation right now. So yeah.
Thank you, Joe, for showing this. It's a great way for students to kind of get on the same page about what is KU Rec Services, what can they expect from the facilities, but also as we get into our topic for today of really trying to inform our students what can they expect as they go away from campus. For a lot of our students that may not live Lawrence locally or have the same access. And so with your expertise and your wonderful brain of yours, we just kind of wanted to connect a little bit of like what can students think about or what some resources, things from your knowledge of how they can kind of prepare themselves to maintain some of their routines. And so some of the questions that we had for you was like, what would you recommend to students as they find alternative means to their wellness routines when they're away from campus?
That's a great question. The one thing I want to say is you haven't failed if you go home and your workout doesn't and your wellness routine does not look the same. Give yourself grace. It's not failure. It's just a little break. It's a little pause. And then you know you're going to get right back into it. That's the key, is returning. You haven't failed until you tell me you're never exercising or you're never doing wellness ever again. So don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. enjoy, some of that fruit cake or whatever. I'm just kidding. Nobody like no. All the good yummies out there. Obviously trying to snack on, vegetables and fruits type stuff, or drinking lots of liquids and in your water and stuff, helps you stay a little bit fuller, as well as activity wise, just getting out and about. So it may not be a standard structured workout, but that still is good. Moving, they say 10 minutes every 3 times a day is good movement. So even if it's, you walk the dog with your parents in the morning, you go for just a walk around the block with somebody, you meet up with a friend at the mall and you go for a walk, or you're doing after Christmas shopping or something. Just movement in itself is good for you. So don't feel bad farther away if you're going to the mall, if you're going to the movies, if you're going doing other things. For me, I have nieces and nephews, and I don't know if many of you will be around smaller children, but like they have a lot of energy. So I try to we do games, tag, different things like we have a little papa shot, I know, at my house, so at my parents. So we try to be interactive, or I actually use them as my weights, like doing airplane or something and picking them up or swinging them around. So you might have that opportunity, maybe not, but or during, I'm guessing some of you are going to relax and enjoy your winter break, which is fabulous. But maybe during some binge watching, you decide to take a break in between an episode and get up and do some, push-ups or something, or while you're watching an episode, do some sit-ups, or incorporate some type of activity. So get your blood flowing, those types of things. Netflix and YouTube have videos out there so that you could actually just, they're free, and you can jump on and check out a yoga video, a meditation video, any of those things. So, and just sometimes there's just too much happening at Christmas. It gets chaotic. Maybe just taking a walk with your podcast on, or some great music, just for your time away from all the chaos and all the craziness. Sometimes that's good too. So,
No, those are perfect. Honestly, I agree on the holiday season it can be a lot for a lot of people. And so just taking a break. But I think for a lot of people, what you first start off, like giving yourself grace, that it's okay to take breaks. I know a lot of people, their routines kind of help them guide their day to day, but understanding that this is your time to rest, to recharge, but still staying active. You can do so in many different ways, regardless if it's you're not going to the same time, same every day, like finding ways to be active, or just ensuring yourself that you don't have to have the same amount of activity that you were doing this fall, especially if you were in a very rigorous routine. Like you can give yourself the time to rest your body, to allow your blood, your muscles to relax, to give itself the grace. Because when you come back and you want to hop right back into it, you'll have the facilities and you'll have the ability to return to classes, especially when the weather starts warming up. You can be more outdoors, but it's just as good to give your body that rest and recharge as it is to always have that great routine going.
Absolutely. And it helps your body repair, because anything we do physically obviously is somewhat tearing down some tissue. And so by not doing as much, you are actually resting the muscle to actually heal, which actually is strengthening, which is positive. So you might come back and actually feel stronger. You might feel, more ready to get on something or take a run, or your walking increases speed or something, or you get a better incline, and you'll be like, wow, I took a week off and I actually feel better than I did when I
Yeah.
come all the time. So,
No, that's perfect. And so are there any services that KU Rec has for students while they're away? Like how can they still stay connected?
sure. Unfortunately, we don't have anything like if you live not in the area. We will be open. Our facility will be open Monday through Friday, the whole break up until school, like right before school starts, the weekend before school starts. We'll go back to normal spring schedule. But we're pretty much open 7 to 7. But unfortunately, we don't really have any programs or anything that's happening that actually you could do in a distance. So nothing virtual, unfortunately. So But once you get back to Lawrence, come visit us, come check it out. It's always good before the semester starts. It could be a little bit slower before everybody gets back to campus. If you happen to get back at a little bit earlier than everybody, kind of get into your normal what you want to do for the spring.
Yeah, well, and actually, that's good to know. I think a lot of people probably assume the facilities are closed if campus is closed at certain periods of time. And so I think for that, if people are local or within driving distance, they still have access to, especially for students that pay their student fees, they still have that free access to
Yeah.
facility that they can use and not having to worry about go charging. So if you are in the Lawrence area or even greater Kansas City, Topeka area, you still have the ability to come use those services still without needing to go find an alternative means, which is really nice. But you kind of mentioned about the spring semester. So what are ways students can get involved once they're back? As they prepare and they go home, what can they start thinking about before they return if they want to get more involved, whether that's routines, services, things, I don't know, what can they start thinking about if they want to get more involved with you all?
Definitely. So one thing I definitely want to share is that the KU Fit group fitness classes, the very first week of school will be free. So you won't have to come and, you can try it out, check out the classes, take a couple different classes you're interested in, or if you don't know what it really means to be in a TRX class or something, and just want to check it out. Maybe you've never done yoga and you're like, hey, I don't know if it's for me or not. It's a great way for people to come in and try it out, see if they like it. And then if they do, then obviously they can purchase the pass. If they don't, maybe they find a different type of class they like, maybe a little Zumba, a little dancing or something. Um, some strength classes. Those are always good. Intramural schedule will come out, and that will be out for the entire semester. So maybe you'll go out and check off some items, like, if you want to get a team together for the basketball tournament or the basketball league that we're going to start off with. I think there will be a dodgeball tournament as well. So be thinking about getting your teams together and who would you want to invite or ask to play, or, reach out to your friends after since you're tired of being home or not on campus and you're like, boy, I'm bored, then be thinking about those types of things. The other part is if you possibly were interested in a club, we have 30 clubs. On our website is the ability for you to connect with a club and ask any questions. So is it a highly competitive team? Is it a rec team? Do they travel much? Do I have to I've never played the sport before. Is that okay? Those types of things. How often do they practice? Those types of questions. You can find out more information and make decisions. And maybe you'd want to join a club, or maybe you want to try out for a club. Sometimes clubs have tryouts. So, and maybe you just want to practice and not actually go compete. You just enjoy being around people and those types of things. So there's tons of different clubs out there. There's a rock climbing club, so that's pretty cool. It's not just sports, not just like men's lacrosse, women's lacrosse, ultimate. So tons of things of that nature. And then in general, we just have so many things. You could play squash, you could play racquetball, you could we have too many things.
I think y'all are one area that it's okay to have too many things,
Yeah. Yes.
which is perfect. But also, y'all are a great form of employment. I know for a lot of students,
Yes.
that's trying to find access to a job that's whether within walking distance of living on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So I always want to highlight that this is a
Absolutely.
great form of employment, whether that's you want to lead classes, or if you just want to find something part-time just to find an additional source of income. You all are wonderful. I've used your facilities. I've partnered with you on a bunch of stuff, so I can highly recommend working for KURG Services. Y'all would have a fun time. Plus, getting to work closely with you and the rest of the team. It's just y'all are a treat. So,
well, excellent. Well, we appreciate you too. So, we love students. We love the opportunity to see them thrive and grow. And to me, it's always amazing the great things they go out and do in the world after being a student at KU. And I'm in awe most of the time with just how much they, can change in a 4-year time span. So, there's great opportunities, leadership opportunities. Our students run our building when we're not here in the evening. So that's a huge, leadership opportunity, but also a huge responsibility. But anything from officials for intramurals they'll teach you everything. We don't let people yell at you or anything like that. You know, we're here, we got your back. Um, to the climbing wall people, to like you said, group fitness class instructors, personal trainers, people who work in the weight room, people who do IDs. So, and even maintenance staff. We have student maintenance who help us keep our building nice and clean, and you know, they can kind of come and go as they want. So
No, that's perfect. Well, thank you, Jill, for
yeah.
that is all we have today for this Focus Friday series. I'm very appreciative of you being here and sharing a little bit, especially before students go off home, wherever home may be for them, as they wrap up their fall semester. But we just want to give a special thanks for Jill for joining us today.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
But if folks have more details about the session and other Focus Friday sessions, they can be found all on our website at kualumni.org. So thank you, Jill. Rock Chalk, everybody. Have a wonderful winter break. And we will have more Focus Friday series in the spring semester.